Yo, what's going on, guys? Flurpledur here, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a general beginner's guide on starting on Skyblock Isles. I'm going to go over a few things such as the tutorial, the map, adventures, quests, skills, food, combat, mods, and daily tasks. When you first start off on the server, there's a tutorial. Pretty standard. I highly recommend running through it because it is very important to getting some of the basics of how the server operates. Once you finish the tutorial, you end up here in Flurpledur, which is the very first town. You'll have a quest to talk to Grandpa, who will be here, and he'll take you to another person named Morgana. I'll get into that in a little bit, though. First, I want to cover this map here, which just shows a bunch of different areas across Skyblock Isles that you can, well, go to later on. Some very important ones, such as the Wizard Tower. When you speak to Grandpa, he actually shows you a thing in your menu, which, by the way, I highly recommend taking time to familiarize yourself with this menu. There's some very important things in here that you'll need to be able to access throughout your time playing. One of which he mentions is the map, which you can see all the different areas that you've unlocked and been to, and you can actually click on them and track the different things you will need. Such as in Flurpledur, you can track various different crafting things, cows, chickens, even people's shops. First one he'll have you track, I believe, is Morgana. So we'll be heading there. You'll see it shows, a waypoint for it, which is very useful. You just follow that and you end up at Morgana. But before we do that, there's another map here I wanted to show you, which shows you Flurpledur. So once you get to Morgana, you will talk to her and claim your I guess, kits, essentially. I can't speak to her because I've already claimed every single one, but when you talk to her, you get 4 different options. One of them is a general kit that'll give you tools that you can use to start farming, mining, and other things like that, as well as a little bit of food. Next one is a choice. You can pick one of the 3 kits for free, and then later you can claim both of them 1,000 apiece. The 3 kits that are there are melee gear, ranged gear, and magic gear. I'll go into that more later on, but you can take your pick based on your own playstyle and progress from there. After you've done that, you talk to Myth Randir, who has adventures, which is just one of the many things you can do on the server. I highly recommend dabbling in it a little bit because it gives you different things that actually teach you a bit about the server, such as how to farm apples, trials, as well as the process to make bread. There's also an adventures tab in here once you've started the adventures, and you can see there's different adventures across the world. Some of the adventures actually require you to do quests, which is another useful thing to go over. Inside the quests, you will see that there are different tiers, such as peaceful, easy, normal, and hard. Obviously, there's also hardcore, but there's currently no quests for that. As you can see, the quests get actually harder as you go along by taking away waypoints and adding requirements, such as skill levels. Quests are very good. They give you all kinds of different awards. So do the adventures, actually. So I highly recommend dabbling a little bit in both of them. It is very good and very useful for progressing on the server. Now, the next thing I'm going to cover is skills. There are many different types of skills, such as fishing, farming, mining, and woodcutting, as well as some combat skills, some crafting skills, and many more. A lot of the skills intertwine, such as mining. You need to mine the stuff, and then once you mine it, you actually need smithing levels so you can smelt it and smith it up into things. There's some others that go into depth with different other skills, but I'm not getting too in depth with it. If you guys actually want me to make a video or multiple videos going in depth of different skills, let me know in the comments down below. I'll also have some links in the description for some other useful videos. One of the other important things, though, that I am going to cover skill-wise is food. There's various different types of food, and what it does is it gives you health. You do regenerate health slowly over time, but it's very important to keep food on you so that you can regenerate it when you need it. Obviously, the better the food, or the higher the level of the food, the higher it's going to be, such as pancakes, which is really complicated to make, but gives you 35 HP. There's also some that are fishing, which are a little bit easier to make, but you have to have the fishing levels, and you have to go to the correct area to cook them, such as a large grill, or such as a kitchen counter, for example. Now, the reason food is very important is for combat. As you can see, there is actually a guard over there. For me, he is he's always level 40, but for me, it's green, which means I'm actually able to take him on with little to no effort. You can see that he's blue, which means I can take him on with no effort. However, there are some people you will encounter in the world that'll have a different color number above their head, such as orange, which means you're going to struggle a bit, and such as red, which means odds are you are going to die. The other thing I want to talk about is the color of their name. If it's green, they won't attack you. They won't aggro you, but if you attack them, they will attack back. On top of that, I would like to mention the bestiary, which is very useful as well. You can see the different things that you've killed and also what they drop. If you have VIP, you can actually see the drop chance of their items as well, which is also super useful. The next thing I'm going to cover in combat is the different skills, actually. There is attack, strength, and defense, and the way you train those up is you would go into your equipment and choose your combat style. You can do this for melee, ranged, and magic. Except in magic and ranged, it's only defense and the actual skill. In melee, you can raise your attack, your strength, and your defense, and it'll split the experience 3 ways, 2 ways, or just into one skill, depending on what you have selected. Attack will increase your average damage output, so instead of hitting zeros all the time, you could be hitting a good in between your maximum damage and your minimum damage. Strength increases the maximum amount of damage you can actually output, which is very good. Both of these skills are actually required to use different weapons, such as swords only require attack, whereas axes require attack and strength. I'll get into those different weapons in a bit. The next one I want to cover is defense. Defense determines the type of gear you can wear in melee, ranged, and magic categories. Next up is health. Health just increases as you get in fights and, well, kill things, and that'll increase your maximum health. You'll probably notice by now when you start off that you have a low amount of health. As you can see though, I have 360 health because I've leveled mine up. The next one is ranged, which is similar to melee. You've got containers though, like quivers and bolt racks to hold your ammo, and then different weapons you can use. So far, the only difference, though, is some weapons do more damage, but also take more to make them. Magic is pretty similar as well. You've got different weapons, which increase your magic accuracy and power. You've got containers, which you hold your runes, which you use to cast various different spells. Again, if you want me to cover any of those, let me know. Magic is a very important skill you'll want to dive into, I promise. Now, the next thing I want to cover is actually the different melee weapons you can use. So, one, there's swords, which you can see have more accuracy, but less power. Spears have a balance, and axes have more power. On top of that, there's 2 different things you can use with melee combat. One of those being a dagger, which you see lowers your magic accuracy and range accuracy, but raises your melee accuracy, power, and melee defense. There is also shields, which you can see in the defense section, which you can hold in your offhand, which increase your melee defense and range defense, but lower your magic accuracy and ranged accuracy. The next thing I want to cover is mods. You can see I have a few on my weapons on my weapons and gear already, such as Asgard Grip, Rigor, and Toe Spike. Mods are various different things that give stat boosts. As you can see, you can go to the armory here, and you can find Toe Spike, which will increase your melee power. It obviously only goes on your boots or greaves, I believe, if you're wearing, I think it's a different type of gear. That might be ranged gear. There's also Rigor, which increases melee accuracy. Once you have a mod that you want to throw on a weapon, you gotta obviously go to a specific table to do that. The one you would like to go to is down this road here, which is Trials. As I showed on the big map, it is also on there, and it also shows you where to go on the map for Wharfmolo. But since I'm not too close to those, I'll show you on this voxel map. So this is the town of Wharfmolo. This is where you start off and spawn. It is down this road and right here. Through magic, you can actually also unlock a teleport to it directly, which is very useful. Now, there's actually 2 important things here. Actually, 3 important things here, but 2 in this area. One of those is a casting station, which goes down one of the skill paths, Artisan, where you can make different jewelry, which you can actually enchant through magic to give different effects, such as the Ring of Luck I have on, which gives me a 35% proc chance to get extra loot from killing mobs, and this Amulet of Accuracy, which increases my melee, magic, and range accuracy. The next thing is the mods here, or as well, Tinkerer here, who gives you all, or doesn't give you, but shows you all the different mods that are on the server. Again, once you have a mod, you go into this, you click your weapon or armor in, and you click a mod, and it'll go into there. And then you accept it, and it does what he's doing right now. Goes onto your item and gives it buffs. Mods will definitely help you out. I highly recommend that if you get one, you look into it and see if it's something you want to throw on your gear. Just keep in mind, if it's on your gear, you can remove it, but you can't get the mod back. Now, the final thing I want to go ahead and cover is another feature on the server you can dive into, and that is the trials tasks. There is woodcutting, mining, farming, fishing, and 2 combat tasks. Every day you can come here and speak to every single one of them and take a task. The task is usually something like this one, which is to mine 100 rhodonite. Every single one you're gathering or killing 100 of something. If you don't like your task, like I don't like to do rhodonite, it's just too difficult, it takes too much time, I can actually refresh it once every day. See, I guess roughly every day? Now I have to mine 100 nickel. I could take that and I can actually do that and I get different rewards, such as mining experience, coins, and trial tickets. Once you get trial tickets, you can take it to this lady here and spend them on different things, such as a mount, or on some of these keys, which you can use at the different areas, such as over here in Wharf Molo, to get various different rare rewards. I think that about covers it for this beginner's guide. If there's anything that I didn't cover that you have a question about, comment it down below. Again, useful links in the description to different videos and other things for connecting to the server. If you have any questions, I'll answer them, or I'll make another video about it in the future. Hope you guys did enjoy this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.